What is up, 12s? It's your boy Brandon Michael here. Guys, the Seattle Seahawks have just beat the Arizona Cardinals 28-21. Big Thursday night football win. Seattle's back on top of the NFC West. It was a huge game. Super proud of the guys for going out there and correcting their mistakes, playing a lot better than they have the last 2 weeks. And I'm going to be honest, I'm giving out MVP award tonight, and it goes to the defense. We made a lot of key plays. Yes, there was a lot of penalties. Bad reffing in general for both sides. There were some calls I was like, that shouldn't have been called against Arizona. And there were some plays where I'm like, that shouldn't have been called against us. And there was also some missed calls. So, in general, nobody could say the refs screwed the game. I mean, it made it a lot more interesting. There was a lot of penalties. I think both sides had over 100 yards, or it was close. It was really close. I know Arizona did, and Seattle at one point had, 90 yards? So, in general, I thought it was a good game, guys. We can't play the refs. I mean, Arizona's going to pull that excuse. I could already see it, but I wrote down a lot here. I have my notepad. I wrote down throughout the game. I was counting it. There was like at least 5 penalties where I was like, that should have been called, or they should have made that for us. So, in general, guys, the refs are not going to be a factor that they could use. It's not valid because it was on both teams. Injuries, if they say injuries, we got more injuries than them, so that doesn't even matter either. So, guys, I just want to go ahead and jump right into this because I have a lot of notes on this notepad that I want to go ahead and discuss because it was a big win. It was super fun, super exciting. I love Thursday night football, especially against a good team like the Arizona Cardinals, a division win. So let's go ahead and talk about, first and foremost, Carlos Dunlap, 2 sacks, had a phenomenal game tonight. He was in the backfield all night, chasing around Kyler Murray. Played absolutely great. I mean, I can't say much more. I didn't doubt Carlos Dunlap, but I was like, let's not have high expectations of him. He shut me up. He came in and he's wrecking the game. All these games, he's getting better every single game. Snacks Harrison played better than he did last week. And in general, the defense played really good. Something else I also want to note was we had 165 rushing yards. When was the last time Seattle had that many rushing yards? Because I can't remember. We had a great game on the ground, and that's exactly what I thought we should do. And segue. Sorry guys, my back. Oh, I was running around all game. I was going crazy. Uh, Going in from rushing yards, we also had 11 more minutes of possession, which was absolutely huge. I mean, and one of those reasons because we were running the ball so effectively, we were able to just burn so much time off the clock. That was so big for us. I think that I love the way we played, and especially running that ball without Chris Carson, we were still able to run the ball very well. Carlos Hyde is a big contributor to that. A lot of people didn't like Carlos Hyde. I'm like, why don't you guys like Carlos Hyde? I hope you changed your minds tonight. He played great. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start on these notepads. I'm just going to go through the, piece by piece, and I'm going to go through some raw emotions. So, right now, I'm looking. We took half the first quarter on our first drive. Arizona didn't get the ball left until 8 minutes and 45 seconds in the first quarter. First quarter. That's phenomenal. We took up the whole first quarter, half the first quarter, and we did. And then once Arizona got the ball, they had back-to-back 3-and-outs. Defense played really good, lights out. Arizona had that slow start. I want to go ahead and say it. Bad holding call on Damian Lewis. When Damian Lewis fell, that was just. I'm sorry, guys. This hat's gonna come out. I don't care how my hair looks. Bad holding call on Damian Lewis. Gosh dang, man. What the heck is this? The hair gel's acting insane out here. Yeah, bad holding call on Damian Lewis. Pulled back a 41-yard DK Metcalf catch. That would have been huge. But they obviously called it back, and it is what it is. That was one of those calls that really, shaped the game. And penalties. Oh yeah, which penalty was it? The Carlos Hyde penalty where they didn't call the PI. That was big. The unsportsmanlike conduct call on Ryan Neal. I mean, like a bunch of bullcrap calls. I don't know why that call is a 15-yard penalty. Like that literally makes no sense. But okay. We held the Cardinals to 25 yards in the first quarter, the lowest that they had. I mean, 23 yards in the first quarter, which is the lowest they've ever had this season, which is big. That's huge. Third down, hurting Seahawks in the second, I said, and that was. I mean, third down was just one of those plays where in the second quarter where we played so well in the first, we forced back-to-back 3-and-outs, and then all of a sudden the second, Arizona started to pick it up a little bit. But that Quandre Diggs hit on Dan Arnold to force that incompletion and force the punt was huge. Obviously, he had a second one later on D-Hop that was called a 15-yard penalty. I'm going to get to that, but I thought that was a soft play. He didn't even get hit in the head. D-Hop is just, he kind of got my nerves this game, not going to lie. He was like pointing his head. I was like, dude, you didn't even get hit in the head. Quandre hit his shoulder to shoulder, but he was sitting there like he got hit in the head. I was like, and then he kind of bumped Quandre after. I'm like, dude, get off the field, bro. Don't even pull that, all right? Like, you ain't cool. And I like how Quandre just shoved it off. He was like, hey, we both know what happened in there. We didn't get hit in the head. KJ Wright stopping Kyler Murray on that third down. Oh my gosh. When there was less than 2 minutes, huge. When Kyler kind of tried to put the skates on him and KJ just kind of kept his ground and made that big tackle. Huge. KJ Wright is just, one of the best veterans in the game, and he shows it again. So, that was towards the that was the end of the first half. So we were up 16-7. Good start. That DK Metcalf play, I think it should have been holding against Patrick Peterson. I don't think it should have been PI. So that was one of the missed calls against Arizona. He definitely held the jersey of DK Metcalf, but I don't know if that was a pass interference. But either way, we got a field goal. It wasn't like we got a touchdown off that. So, first drive for the Arizona Cardinals, terrible. 2 big personal fouls against the Seattle Seahawks. The first one was that sorry one against Quandre Diggs when he hit D-Hop. And the second one was that Bobby Wagner horse collar tackle, which was, that sucked, man, because that would have been a big loss too. But it is what it is. DK had 2 big drops, one at the end of the first half. That could have been a touchdown last minute. That would have been huge. Hit his helmet. That one was a little bit harder, I understand, because, the Cardinals player's hand, I don't remember who it was probably blocking his vision. Last minute gets hit in the helmet. And the second one was, I think he was running a drag route or a slant. I don't remember which one. He was going down the field. If he would have caught it, it would have been a perfect play. Would have ran it down the field. I don't know who would have caught him, but that's another play where we're like, well, shoot, that could have been, woulda, coulda, shoulda play. And one thing I want to go ahead and mention was DK fighting for Tyler. I really like that, man. I didn't really care if it was against Drake Kirkpatrick or not. At the end of the day, man, how they tackled Tyler was messed up. Tyler should not have been tackled like that. I thought Tyler tore his ACL for a second. I was so scared. And that was on his injured knee, man. Like, hopefully Tyler's all right. Man, that scared me so bad when Tyler got twisted. And I was like, dude, DK, let him fight for it. Screw it. And I understand it could cost us points, but at the same time, this is a division rival game. Let them know. Let them know we're the Kings. Let them know. Let's get physical with these boys. I like that. And sticking up for Tyler. I love that. And one thing I did also want to say was with 4 minutes and 47 seconds left, we obviously got the first down because we passed to Jacob Hollister after we didn't convert on the 2nd and 1. But I was so confused why Bo Scarborough was taking the ball in 2nd and 1, and he goes up the middle, doesn't do anything, gets 3rd and 1. Like, I don't know why he was in the game. I hate when we do that. Like, we'll do that with Travis Homer. It'll be like 3rd and 1, and then we'll give it to Travis Homer. I'm like, why are we giving it to Travis Homer when we have Chris Carson? This is obviously earlier in the season. I'm like, why do we always do that? It absolutely pisses me off. I understand Travis Homer is like our 3rd down guy, but Bo Scarborough is not even like, like our 3rd down, 2nd down. No. Why is Carlos Hyde not in the game? It makes literally no sense. Let him get that. I guarantee you, not guarantee, but he has a better chance getting it than Bo Scarborough off the practice squad. Like, let's be honest here. And another big thing, before I talk about my raw emotions of the game, I did want to say Cardinals were taking advantage of Seattle's soft defense at the end of that game before Carlos Dunlap got that sack to end it. Absolutely pathetic. Ken Norton just plays soft all game. I mean, not all game, but with 2 minutes left. Well, especially all game. He was playing Trey Flowers like 10 yards off D-Hop, and they were just taking advantage of it. They put 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers to the left, snap it, and they would just throw screens to Larry Fitzgerald. And they were just constantly getting yards. Eventually, they had to stop that, you saw, because they started making Trey play more, started to try and press DeAndre Hopkins off the line. And, then they had to stop that. And notice once we did that and stopped playing so soft, that the Cardinals, went through all their 4 downs, got sacked, and the game was over. So that's another thing I did want to mention. Like, man, why we got to play so soft, man? 152 left in the game. There's plenty of time. Just, we don't have to play off them so much. We were just giving them easy yards left and right. We play so soft, so they just throw screens, and it's easy 6, 10, 11 yards here and there. So, yeah, I just want to say that Ken Norton learn off of that. I'm super proud of Ken, though. He went out here and he coached a wonderful game. Same with Pete Carroll. But I do want to go ahead and talk about my raw emotions real quick because this was just a great game. Russell Wilson, man. Russell played I mean, I don't think we could ask him to play any better. I loved how he started to scramble more. On it, obviously, we don't want him to take hits, but we saw when he did run more, it opened up a lot more for this defense. We saw the running game open up the play action more, open up the playbook more, just in general. I think we could have had multiple, 2 more touchdowns if it wasn't for a couple of drops or a couple of misreads or here and there or whatever. I was super proud of this offense. I think Tyler, that Russell throw to Tyler was absolutely beautiful. DK, that throw was beautiful, and obviously we came out of this game with a few injuries. Greg Olsen, I don't think, guys, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think when it's a non-contact like that, that's never good. It's never good. So that's something we want to keep up with. Brandon Shell got injured too, and then obviously Scarborough also got injured. We'll see what happens with those two guys. But I mean, Greg Olsen, man. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It's not like Greg did a lot, but I mean, that's just a leader in the locker room. That's just a lot of stuff that you also have to consider. We need Chris Carson, and if we have to sit him against Philadelphia next week, then we got to sit him in against Philadelphia. But I want him to be 100% healthy because we need him for this push. Honestly, I wouldn't even mind if we just saved him for the playoffs. I'm exaggerating, obviously, because we have a weak schedule. That's why I'm saying that. But we need him for the playoffs. Like, we need this man for the playoffs if we want to do anything. We need to just keep winning games. Guys, I'm going to be honest. If we're going to want to get the first seed, we're going to have to win out because we have to win out, and somehow Green Bay has to lose 2 games in the last however many is left. 7 games. They play Chicago twice. They play Indianapolis, Tennessee. So there's a couple of games in there they could lose, but fairly, it's not that difficult for Green Bay. Man, I'm proud of this team, guys. Especially after last week, I was so emotional, man, because and Seahawks fans, I bet you guys know. And if you sit there and say you don't get emotional, then you're lying to yourself. We get to the point where you want to have belief, but the way the team looks and how we expected the defense to improve over the games, and it just wasn't. You kind of start to lose hope a little bit. And you kind of, because you're halfway through the season and just things aren't getting better. And I know Seahawks fans, if you say like, "Oh man, you're just a fake fan," you don't. Come on, bro. You're not gonna sit there and tell me that you don't feel those emotions too. And obviously, I'm positive. All y'all are always saying like, "Oh, well, you're not a true fan of this team." Are you kidding me? I'm not a true fan. I've been repping this team all my life. I wasted countless hours and Sundays and money watching this team, and I'm not a true fan. We're just being real. And I think I'm not going to jump up and down and get excited. We're 7-3. I want to keep our head focused. We got to do our task ahead. And I'm going to be honest, I was one of those fans when we were 5-0. I did get a little bit too excited. And we were 5-0, and we didn't really get tested yet. So that's one thing I do want to point out too is we might be 7-3. We might be top of the NFC West right now, as of right now, unless the Rams beat the Buccaneers on Monday night. I think they play Monday night. We just have to stay focused at this point and don't get too excited. Take it one game at a time, like literally one game at a time, because anything can happen in the NFL. I mean, Russell took a couple of hits where I'm like. By the way, that Russell call at the end when he got hit in the face on that 3rd down, that could have been another first down. Just saying. He got hit in the face. Just saying. But yeah, guys, we're 7-3, and I'm super proud of where we're at. I'm super excited to see where this team goes. We just need Chris Carson back. Shaquille, Quentin Dunbar just got put on IR, I think, today, so that's not good. He needs to rest up. If he could rest up until the playoffs, I'm 100% okay with that. Shaq needs to rest up. And let me tell you what, Trey Flowers, oh my gosh, this man over the last few games is stepping up. And I like how he's playing right now because all these injuries are happening. Who's stepping up? Trey Flowers. Against tough competition, against guys like Robert Woods, against guys like DeAndre Hopkins. Stuff that Shaquille Griffin never did. Shaquille Griffin never played good against great receivers. And that was kind of always my knack against Shaquille Griffin, where I was like, yeah, he's stat grabbing with all these bad teams, but then all of a sudden he can't lock up some of these good guys, and I'm like, I need him to develop a little bit more. I love Shaq, obviously, but we be real here, and I want to see him develop. That's one thing, because I do want to see Shaquille Griffin back in a Seahawks uniform, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, that's my reaction. I'm happy. I mean, I don't know if you could tell, I'm just really tired. I came back from a long days of work, guys. And I'm just happy. I'm happy. I'm not going to get too happy, though. I want us to stay focused. Who do we play? Philadelphia next week? Watch it not be Philadelphia. I might embarrass myself. If it's not Philadelphia, then tell me who it is, guys. I was just so focused on these five games, I didn't even look who we play after. No, it is Philadelphia. Monday night. You're right. Monday night. Monday Night Football. We play Philadelphia Eagles, guys. So let's stay focused. Let's go ahead. Let's beat the Philadelphia Eagles, guys. Go Hawks. Stay safe. I hope you guys enjoy this big win. Enjoy your Blue Friday tomorrow. Enjoy your Sunday, whether you go to church or work or you're gonna watch the games. Whatever you do, stay safe, guys, and get ready because we got a long week. And I can't wait to get prepared to face this Philadelphia Eagles team that always plays us tough. Even though we win, they always play us tough. And they're going to be out there and they're going to be hungry. Because, listen, they want to get first place in that division so they can lock up that division, make a playoff spot. So Philadelphia's going to play hard. They're going to be dogs in there. So let's go out there. Let's get a dub, guys. Go Hawks. Stay safe. And I'll see you guys soon.